This is a Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. We're backstage at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery for the 7th Annual Johnny Ramone Tribute.
Yes, thanks, Eric. What's on your mind?
We are verbally abusing Stan Lee from the Dickies right now.
You haven't started yet.
Stan, tell me what you feel is important about this event commemorating the amazing life of Johnny Ramone.
It's fun to come to, so it's important they do it, so I have somewhere to come every year.
What kind of encounters did you have with the Ramones during, well, you're still touring with the Dickies?
Yeah, we did a few tours with them, and I don't know, Joey was a Dickies fan, so we had something, and it was a drag. I'll never forget being in New York when I heard he died, and it affected me. It was painful because he was the guy.
Any memories or stories from any of your time spent with the Ramones?
I saw Batman with him the day it came out. Took me to a few dinners at the dojo on, what was that, 8th? St. Mark's. I don't know, I always saw him when I was in New York, and whenever we can get on their shows, they always called us first. And he was just a fun guy.
And for you, what was the importance of the Ramones?
The singing, the words, the whole thing. I mean, what can you say? They changed rock and roll.
There's stories about you hanging out with Iggy Pop back in the day. And
Guilty.
yes, this story about this jacket with a tiger on the back of it.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me about this story?
What would you like to know about it?
I want to know. I want you to tell me it.
I got it for a balloon of heroin at the time, and he was supposed to come and, give me the $25 the next day. He didn't. He didn't really care that much about this awesome jacket, so I just had it for like 20 years and made it part of my thing. And I don't.
Do you know what happened to it?
Yeah, I know exactly what happened to it. Guy came over with $100 bills and started doing that. 5 went down. I went, no. 10. I'm strung out at the time, kicking, right, when this is going on. 10, nah. 15, I'm still hanging on to it, salivating over that money. And then when he had 20 of them there, I swept them up. I said, that'll work. Haven't seen it since.
During that period, I guess Iggy Pop was completely out of hand.
Jacket is what I heard. Iggy was out of hand, yeah. He showed up. I was 15 years old, so bad on him for, hanging out with a 15-year-old. He was probably 25, maybe, I would say. And he showed up at like 9 in the morning in a dress to my parents' house, knocking on the door. Can a man have a cup of coffee? Wait a minute. I was just a, bad kid in the suburbs. So, yeah, I got a lot of Iggy stories. Nobody ever asked them, but just jarred that out of my memory.
Were you there when he played at Rodney's?
Yes, cut himself.
He cut himself, and
I was there at
Nigel Harrison
whiskey shows, and yeah, I was this little kid that hung around with Iggy. It was crazy.
How much do you feel that influenced you to put together the Dickies?
I don't think it did. It took the Ramones to do that. And I don't know why that is. That didn't get me to start to play guitar, but I started maybe 3 months before before I heard the Ramones, I think. And then I went, wow. I thought it was some college smart guys doing this record or something. I went, come on, this isn't real. These guys can really play, and this isn't real. And then I got to see this, and I saw they were playing the Whiskey, and I went to the sound check, and then I see these New York guys arguing and yelling at each other, and it was just, this is fucking real. This is sincere. Whatever this is, I don't understand it. But I went home, I put the record on, and it had me cleaning my room and doing stuff. I'm like, there's an effect having on me, and I don't even realize it. I'm singing Beat on the Brat and all this crazy, simple stuff. But later I come to, inhale it all and realize it was just genius, all those lyrics and chord patterns. And, I miss that band.
On the first Dickies album, and correct me if I'm wrong, you cover Paranoid by Black Sabbath. How did you guys get the rights to cover that song?
you can cover any song. You don't need to get the rights. I don't know why I hear Weird Al Yankovic has a hard time with that. Nobody's ever said you can't do that. I mean, maybe if you want to change it, maybe that's where he has problems. But you can cover as long as you give him credit or whatever.
And has Ozzy or any members of Black Sabbath ever critiqued your version of the song?
I actually got Ozzy. Here's another story. In 78, might have been 9, I think it was 78, Van Halen was playing with Black Sabbath at the Hammersmith Odeon. We happened to have been there, and I went to the show, and I think my in was Van Halen because, we were whiskey chums, And I had our first record, which was a 10-inch, that 10-inch white record. It had Paranoid on it. And I brought one for Ozzy, right? I was hanging on to it. I'm going to present him with it, right? I get there. Eddie sees it, grabs it out of my hand, takes it and puts it in his guitar case. Like, this is his right to take this thing. Wait a minute, I brought this for Ozzy. And he's like, nope, it's mine. What? It's Eddie Van Halen. What am I going to do? I couldn't do anything. He had it. It was his, you know what I mean? It was gone. I wonder if he still has that record.
Stan Lee, it's been great talking to you.
Sure.
Thank you for your patience. Blaring out with Eric Blair at the 7th Annual Johnny Ramone Tribute with Stan Lee of the Dickies signing off.
The Blaring Out Show.